YNR full episode Friday, November 4, 2025 reveals the unbelievable truth Jack can't believe. Diane and Martin's testimony in a tense and dramatic story. Jack Abbott is faced with an unbelievable truth, a truth that even he could not have imagined. Everything is changing rapidly, and the person he trusts the most is the one behind all the sinister plans. Diane Jenkins, who Jack has always considered a companion and an important part of his life, may be the mastermind behind it all. Martin Laurent and the shocking testimony when Martin Laurent entered the Abbott family's life. No one could have imagined that things would take such an unexpected turn. Recently, during a tense investigation, Martin gave a testimony that no one could have expected. According to what he revealed, the mastermind behind all the actions Jack had done was Diane, the person he trusted the most. This was a huge shock to Jack. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. The plans he had made, the decisions he had made, all seemed to have been manipulated by the person he trusted the most. The person Jack had once thought was his companion, the person he could share everything with, but turned out to be the one behind those heartbreaking and dangerous decisions. Diane, why did she do such horrible things? The biggest question now was why Diane did such terrible things. Everything seemed to be beyond Jack's imagination, and he couldn't understand her motives. Did Diane plan this all along, or was she simply caught up in a situation she couldn't control? Diane had a mysterious and complicated past, but no one ever expected her to go to this extent. She had always appeared to be a good mother, a loyal friend, and a woman who could be trusted. However, Martin's testimony completely shattered everything Jack believed about Diane. Uncovering the hidden plans from Martin's testimony, it can be seen that Diane had a clear goal in manipulating Jack and making him do things he never thought he would do. The question is, why did Diane do this? Was she a power-hungry person, someone who would do anything to achieve her personal goals, or did she have another reason behind her actions? Diane's every move, every decision she made can now be seen in a completely different light. From building trust with Jack to creating a perfect image in the eyes of those around her, it's all part of an intricate plan that Diane has set up. And now, everything is gradually being revealed. Sudden dramatic direction and surrounding reactions. The plot's developments are going in a very unexpected and shocking direction. These twists and turns have made the audience unable to take their eyes off the screen. From discovering the truth about Diane to the fierce arguments between the characters, all create a complex and dramatic psychological picture. For Diane, this is a battle not only about trust, but also about self-protection and the reasons behind her actions. She will have to face difficult questions and inevitable interrogations from Jack. Will she be able to keep her cool and protect the truth she has built, or will it be the time for her to face the collapse of everything? Audiences will witness the biggest shock with these unexpected twists. It is undeniable that the audience will have to face a big shock. From Jack's disbelief in the truth to Diane facing unanswered questions, everything is developing in a direction that no one can predict. Everything that Jack has believed and loved is being severely tested. Can he forgive Diane, or will everything end in a shocking end? And Diane, can she face the truth that she has created, or will she have unexpected reactions? The answer can only be revealed in the next episodes. Conclusion: a dramatic and unexpected story. The story of Diane and Jack is developing in a direction that no one can predict. Martin's testimony has lifted the veil of secrecy and created an inevitable confrontation between the characters that the audience loves. Diane, with all the complexity of her character and the decisions she has made, has now become the most mentioned name in the story. With the situation changing rapidly, the audience will certainly not be able to take their eyes off the next developments. Will the truth be revealed, and to what extent will the complex relationships between the characters be challenged? All of this is still a big question. Tracy and Martin Laurent, the truth revealed and questions about love. Tracy Abbott's life, as many fans have seen over the years, has always been filled with challenges and broken hearts. But this time, when everything seemed to be in order and she was about to enter a happy marriage with Alan Laurent, a man she trusted and loved, everything was disrupted by a shocking secret. This is not only a love story but also a big question that fans can't stop thinking about. Is Alan really alive? And can Tracy find love again after all that has happened? Tracy and the hopeful romance. Tracy Abbott, a character loved for her gentle personality and sincerity, has finally found a man to share her life with. Alan Loran, the man who captured her heart, is a retired psychologist who brings Tracy the peace and stability she has been searching for. After years of heartache, Tracy seems to have found true happiness with Alan. She gets engaged to him and dreams of a warm, simple life. However, when life is at its peak, Tracy is faced with a harsh truth. This time, her heart is not only broken by the secrets of her past, but also by a dark truth that is slowly coming to light. An unexpected encounter with Sharon and the connection of events. Everything begins to change when Tracy runs into Sharon Newman. The casual conversation between these two women has no forewarning that it will change Tracy's life forever. Sharon, who has been through a lot in her life and is a close friend of Tracy, shares with her a special detail about the double kidnapping that both she and Phyllis Summers went through. As Sharon recounts the events surrounding the kidnapping, Tracy begins to feel a strange connection between the details that she had never thought of before. This sets off a chain of events that causes Tracy to begin to doubt Alan. Certain details in Sharon's story make her wonder if the man she is about to marry is really Alan. Small details that she had overlooked before suddenly appear more clearly than ever. Growing doubt and Alan's death. Tracy begins to believe that Alan is not who she thinks he is. The unanswered questions about Alan's past increasingly fuel Tracy's doubts. She recalls all the strange things he has done over the past few months, things she had assumed were part of his personality, but now they mean something completely different. Tracy is confused, unable to believe what she is thinking. The secret is revealed, and it seems that every trace points to Alan not being the Alan Loran she knew. People around her begin to notice strange changes in his actions and words. Jack Abbott, the brother Tracy has always loved and trusted, has doubts about Alan's authenticity. He does not hesitate to share his thoughts with Ashley. Jack even suggests that Alan may not be who he thinks he is, which confuses Tracy even more. Nick and Chance, important details. Nick Newman and Chance Chancellor, close friends of the Abbott family, also begin to suspect that something is wrong. Nick, in a conversation with Chance, mentions the suspicions regarding the twins they have uncovered during their investigation. The clues they have gathered seem to indicate that Alan may be an imposter. This raises the big question, is Alan really alive? Or is this a prank by someone, perhaps Martin Loran, someone Tracy doesn't know has been following her life in the shadows? Chance, with his experience in investigative work, has begun to collect information and confirm fingerprints from Paris, where Tracy and Alan had fond memories. These clues only make her more certain that what she has believed for so long may not be true. She could not imagine that the man she thought she would spend the rest of her life with was an imposter. Tracy, a broken heart. The pain that Tracy is facing these days is indescribable. She has found love after years of loneliness, and now, it is being turned upside down by terrible truths that she could not have expected. The discovery that Alan is not the person she thought he could be is breaking her heart. Everything in her life seems to be upside down and blurred. She wonders if she can believe in love again, if she can overcome this pain. The big question, can Tracy find her love again? As secrets begin to be revealed, Tracy is faced with a big question, can she find her love again, despite all the pain? Is Alan still alive, or is this just a trick to keep her living in doubt and hurt? The doubts about Alan are a huge shock to Tracy, and she doesn't know how she can continue in this situation. Tracy must make important decisions in her life. Can she continue to search for the truth and hope that love will return to her, or will she give up everything to find a different path for herself? Can she find a man who truly loves her, or face losing Alan forever? Broken Hearts and the Rebirth of Love. Tracy Abbott's life is not only a story of love, but also a story of finding oneself and facing dark secrets. Her love for Alan Loran has given her hope, but the truth behind everything may cause Tracy to face a broken heart again. But as a strong woman, will Tracy find her way? Can she find love again, or will she have to face truths she is not ready to accept? Surely, this story will not only shock but also make fans unable to take their eyes off the upcoming surprises. Creative plot and the price of deception. Martin, Diane, and Alan in the world of the young and the restless, where every move is tied to deep secrets and intrigue. A remarkable event is happening, and it could change the entire course of the characters' lives. Martin Lawrence's testimony not only sends shockwaves through the Genoa City community, but also opens the door to big questions about secrets that have been hidden for a long time. One of the most important questions is whether Diane, who has tried to build a new life filled with hope and love, will pay the price for the crimes she committed with Janet. And did Alan, whom Tracy loved with all her heart, really die in the Paris accident, or was it all part of a more complex plot? Martin Laurent, the man behind it all. Martin's testimony is not only confusing, but also makes people start to doubt everything they have ever known about the events that happened. Tracy, after hearing the revelations about Martin and the conspiracy involving Alan, cannot help but question what she has believed all this time. One of the biggest secrets that Martin left behind was the theory that Alan might not be dead, and that Martin was the one who pretended to be his twin brother. According to these statements, it is possible that Martin actually took Alan away and held him hostage somewhere, not only to hide the truth about his death, but also to carry out the plots that he had prepared for a long time. All this time, Tracy and those around her were unaware that the person they thought was Alan might just be Martin pretending to be him. This further clarified the betrayal and conspiracy that Diane might have been involved in. Diane and the unforgivable crimes in this story. Diane inevitably becomes one of the characters caught in the vortex of the law. Her secrets, related to Janet and the criminal conspiracies, are finally revealed through Martin's testimony. The truth that Diane may have collaborated with Martin to carry out her evil plans will make her face an uncertain future. Can she escape the crimes she has committed, or will she have to pay for her mistakes? The truth about Diane not only shatters the image she has worked so hard to build over the years, but also brings about unpredictable consequences. Everyone in Genoa City now cannot stop talking about Martin possibly impersonating Alan, and this only makes Diane more confused. The conspiracy she was involved in now become a heavy burden on her, as everyone realizes that she may have deceived everyone all this time. Alan, is he alive? The most important question on everyone's mind right now is whether Alan is really dead, or is he still alive and being held hostage somewhere? The story of Alan's death has been so perfectly staged, but is it just part of Martin's elaborate plot? In the world of the young and the restless, nothing is impossible. Fake deaths, complex plots, and long-running conspiracies are commonplace in this universe. Maybe, just maybe, Alan is still alive, and he's waiting to be rescued. All this time, everyone has believed that Alan died in an accident in Paris, but now, after Martin's testimony is released, Tracy begins to have doubts. Can she find out the truth about Alan, or will she have to face the heartbreaking reality that she will never be happy with the man she loved? Martin, deceiver or experimenter? Martin's story is not only about a man who impersonates another person to deceive the community, but also about a psychological experiment he may have conducted on Sharon and Phyllis. Although Martin has caused so much suffering for Tracy and those around him, is he really the only bad guy in this story? It is possible that Martin is just a pawn in a larger game, and his purpose is not only to manipulate those around him but also to conduct an elaborate psychological experiment. While Tracy is faced with the truth about Alan, the events Martin has created may be part of a larger conspiracy that she cannot yet see. These experiments may be the key to unlocking the truth about the deep secrets Martin is hiding. Love story remains hope for Tracy. Although Tracy has been through so much pain and disappointment, there is still a glimmer of hope in her. Is Alan alive and will he come back to her? If Alan was really kidnapped and held hostage, this could open up a new opportunity for Tracy and Alan's love. However, if Alan really does come back, he may have changed, been hurt and suffered bad experiences throughout the past. This could create a new turning point in their relationship, and Tracy will have to decide whether she can continue to love him the same way. Despite the change that may come, Tracy still holds on to the belief that she will find happiness in the end. Will it be a happy ending for her and Alan, or will this story continue with new intrigues and secrets yet to be revealed? A future that opens up a new story. The story of Diane, Martin, and Alan is a series of intertwined events, full of surprises and dangers. Each character faces challenges and hard-to-accept truths. However, in every tragedy, there is always a ray of hope, and Tracy, despite her trauma, can still dream of a happy ending. Can she find love and happiness, or will the truth behind Alan and Martin change everything she believes in? With each twist, this story is sure to continue to captivate the audience, making them unable to take their eyes off the next developments.